Hello and welcome to another edition of FEO on the Air. Today, we're really happy to have our very good friend Richard Anderson from SmartServe and Hassel Aviles she was the founding director of Not to Five to talk about some interesting programs that Richard and SmartServe have and just announced on May 9th. But before we get into that announcement, I wanted to just get Richard to recap a little bit about SmartServe, what they are, who they are, and what impact they have on people in the festival and events world, especially.
Thanks, Dave. Really appreciate the connection today and always happy to chat to your members. Obviously, SmartServe is a charity that's about responsible sales and service. We've been around since 1995, so we're coming up to our 30th year. And as a charity, we support those that sell, serve, handle, and deliver alcohol in the province of Ontario. As a charity, we have a few give backs. One is a campus program that we call Drink Smart, and we teach students we educate them on binge drinking and other challenges in the campus scene, which includes sexual violence. It also includes opioid use. We talk about cannabis, etc. So there's lots of things that hit the campuses that we like to talk about. And of course, we've trained about 2.5 million people since 1995. And today we have just over 500,000 certified individuals. And I think a good segue is a big part of what we do is give back, and which ties in nicely to why Hassel is here and the good work that she does with Not 9 to 5.
So, yeah, Richard, it's good transition. So let's talk about your announcement that you guys had on May 9th and a little bit about the program that you're putting forward.
So I think let's step back, and Hassel's going to be great in kind of outlining the statistics and the state of the hospitality. But we did some surveying and some focus groups in the fall. And when we did the survey, we wanted to give back, and we asked them directly, how can we give back? And what we heard was there's a lot of mental health challenges, and that would be the most impactful. So we went on a mission and reached out to Hassel at Not 9 to 5, who knows the space very well, and asked her for her guidance and support, and quickly realized that we should collaborate and partner and announce some mental health supports. And I will certainly let Hassel fill us in on what that's about and our partner Greenshield.
Thank you
How
so
so?
much, Richard. Sorry, I jumped in there too quickly. Thank you so much, Richard, and thank you for having me today. So yeah, as I said, my name is Hassel Aviles. I am the founding director of Not 9 to 5 and executive director, and I started Not 9 to 5 about 6 years ago in 2018, mostly based on lived experience. I've worked in restaurants, bars, hotels, the culinary hospitality sector for over 2 decades. And in my, decade and a half of being a frontline service professional, I found that there was very little to no workplace mental health support and resources, specific, like industry specific. So Not 9 to 5 is now a nonprofit global leader in mental health advocacy and education, specifically focused on the hospitality and culinary sector.
Yeah, it's an interesting phenomenon, right? I mean, you think of people that go into a bar or something, and quite often that's where they go to unload and let their problems off. But you don't think about the person on the other side that's hearing all of this and the lived experiences they're going through as well.
Exactly. And as a result of that being neglected for centuries at this point, workplace mental health is a very new topic for this industry. I would say, when we started this 6 years ago, there was very little to no dialogue. There was some, but it was very little. Now, obviously, post pandemic, there's a lot more. There's a lot more organizations. We're in very good company now with the organizations and companies around the world doing this kind of work. But particularly for North America, we did a survey in 2021 that was federally funded, and the research project resulted in hospitality participants sharing with us experiences of burnout at a rate of 87%, experiences of anxiety at a rate of 84%, experience of depression at a rate of 77%, and disordered eating at a rate of 63%. These numbers are alarmingly high when you compare them to other sectors. And the piece that really hits me from the research as well was that over two-thirds, so 67% of the hospitality professionals that we surveyed said that they could still keep their struggles to themselves and try not to let it show. And what that means is that the stigma is still very, very high, and that oftentimes what was keeping them from seeking help was financial barriers. And so that's where Smart Serve Cares campaign comes in as being such a valuable resource, because a lot of what's being offered with the campaign is free.
So, Richard, maybe you can get into a few details of the campaign and what it's all about.
Yeah, I think it's important for us to get the message out that anyone who has a valid SmartServe certificate is eligible to use the Greenshield portal, and simply go on to smartserve.ca and you'll see the link. Once you log in, there is a slew of resources and supports, but I think what we're most proud of is that any individual is entitled up to 3 hours of cognitive behavioral therapy, which is kind of the gold standard when it comes to therapy. But also, there's just so many other resources, both for free and other resources they can pay for that help them on their journey. And even if they want to read the library, look at some best practices, learn how to have healthy practices, there's a bunch of stuff there that support that.
And if nothing else, that 3 hours assures you that you're not alone and that there is that support piece behind you, right? I mean,
Yes.
and that's the stepping stone to getting well or
Yeah,
to
and I think
starting
that
your recovery journey.
yeah, I think it's key that the one thing we learned in working with Hassel is that you can thrive in this environment and you can have great mental health. And if you're open about it and share and use the resources, it can be a great experience.
Well, Hassel, being a frontline person like you are, like what has been the response so far to the program and the announcement?
It has been over. It has been overwhelmingly positive. I think a lot of folks are shocked initially because it's just a long time coming. You know, there's been the need for this for so very long, and to have a partner like SmartServe that's taking the lead on trailblazing, you know, it sends a really new precedent for how important it is to invest in workplace mental health in hospitality. And I did want to point out one thing too with the 3 hours of virtual therapy that are being offered. What I think is really unique to the partner that we're working with, which is Greenshield Health, is that it's culturally sensitive and trauma informed therapy. And what that means also is that you get to choose your own registered therapist. In a lot of situations like this, where you're working with a health service provider, you're paired with someone. And what I really love about our partner, Greenshield, is that it empowers the user to make choices, and they can choose their therapist based on identity related reasons or on need based reasons. So if I'm looking for someone specifically with experience treating substance use challenges, then I can find that. If I'm looking for someone specifically focused on depression or, you know, whatever other need there is, that you can do that with this platform.
Oh, that's great. And Richard, what's been your feedback so far with your members?
Yeah, I think, for us, it's getting the word out, but feedback coming right away is, amazing, long overdue. Thank you for doing this. And I think we're so early. The announcement was just last week that, we're coming down from the excitement and high of the announcement with many partners were at the event. And I think now let's get the word out. Let's tell people it's available. Let's make sure people are comfortable with talking about their mental health, from licensees to, those that have their employees, their employers. We want everyone to share in this and let everyone know that there's nothing wrong with having this conversation and taking advantage of what the Green Shield product is.
And in our industry, what I'm hoping that people get out of this as well is that the card carrying SmartServe members and all of their volunteers that are also SmartServed this program is available to them as well. It's anybody that holds a SmartServe card. Is
Yeah,
that correct?
absolutely. And we know that in the festival and event world, that, they could be a one-off, maybe they're volunteering. They have the exact same access as someone who may be in this industry full time. And, that's priceless, really, to have that opportunity.
And Hassel, what would you say to those that are a little bit skeptical about reaching out? What's your recommendation to them?
Oh, that's a great question. I think that, yeah, we do need to recognize that stigma is still high in some cases, and that sometimes, vulnerability is difficult for some. But workplace mental health leadership, workplace mental health programming and initiatives, they are important in this sector more than ever. There's been so much that we've been dealing with the last couple of years with the pandemic. And, our businesses were our industries was one of the hardest hit. And so I always like to remind folks that no one is unaffected. So everyone's affected in different ways, but no one is unaffected by everything that's been happening. So if you're a leader or a manager, you set the tone. You have the most influence and you have the ability to make an impact with the team. So I really always encourage leaders and managers to role model having these conversations and opening up the dialogue, because they have so much influence over the rest of the workplace. There was a study done about a year ago that showed that managers have more impact on employee mental health than their doctors or therapists. So I think we underestimate the impact that managers and leaders have. And if they're able to role model and show that they're using these resources, or even just a friendly reminder that these resources are available, then it starts to normalize that for everyone else.
And Richard, can you just go through again, like if somebody wants to get in touch or get involved in this program, what do they do?
Smartserve.ca, they're going to see the link to SmartServe Cares. When they click on that link, it's going to take them to Greenshield where they can register for the program. They will then have access immediately to the information, the supports, and we didn't get into it, but there's discussions about addictions, there's financial management, there's various other forms of medical assistance. Um, and I know Hassel knows it much better than I do, but the point is, it's not just for mental health, it's about health in general. And we know that mental health is a big part of why we're doing the program, but there's so much there that can support someone. And even as much as, I need my own medical and dental plan, you can connect and inquire and get a price. And I think the savings would be a little better if you were just an individual on the street. So many opportunities and options. The only thing you need to do is enter your valid SmartServe certificate number, and then it takes you to the portal. We're just validating that you are, indeed valid. And then once you get onto the portal, you'll enter your personal information, which is protected privacy under the Health Act. So it's not shared with SmartServe. No one knows whoever's using the system. And I think that's really important to note.
So if you can maybe just go through again, Richard said, you're the expert on what type of things people can go to this portal to get help for. Maybe if you can just reiterate some of those.
Yeah, of course. So there are five main primary concerns around mental health in the hospitality and culinary sector. So those five are starting with burnout, then following with anxiety, depression, substance use, and disordered eating. So those are the five main primary concerns of our industry. Obviously, there are others, but every time that we've surveyed over the last 5 years, those always come out as the top five. So any of those concerns can be addressed by this campaign and by the mental health professionals associated with this campaign. In addition to that, it's not available immediately, but later this year, we're aiming for the fall. What will also be available as part of SmartServe Cares will be the Not 9 to 5 certification course. And what that is it's a course for anyone to learn more about these five main primary concerns. So the course has 5 modules. Each module is based on one of these concerns, and it equips people with more information, education, knowledge, and tools for how to navigate these conversations in the workplace.
Well, it's a very interesting and a well needed program, Richard. Congratulations to you and your team. Marcel, to your group at not 9 to 5. Congratulations on a very much needed program. Before we go, I just want to leave you both with last words. So, Richard, before you head off,
Yeah.
last words from SmartServe.
So, I've been with SmartServe for coming up to 7 years, and to me, this is the most exciting thing we've been able to work on. It's taken a long time to get here, but it's really going to be very impactful. And we're already seeing some usage numbers that are exciting. And that's what's exciting to us, that this industry can afford benefits, can afford mental health supports. So, although this is a little bit, we think it's enough to help the industry, and we're hoping they use it.
Thank you very much. And Hassel, from you, last words.
I appreciate that. I would just say that if anyone is experiencing anything that, or knows anyone that they care about that is experiencing anything related to workplace mental health, to reach out, and to try this campaign, to check out the resources. Like Richard said, it's all anonymous, so nobody knows. You can feel very comfortable and safe and move at your own pace with it. There's a lot there. And in addition to that, if it's not what you're looking for any other type of resources, to please reach out to Not 9 to 5. Our website is not9to5.org, and we're available on all social channels, and we're here to connect people to the resources that they're looking for.
So we've been talking to Hassel Haviles and Richard Anderson from SmartServe and Not to Five on the new program rolled out by SmartServe. For all of our members that are SmartServe carrying card members, if you are experiencing mental health issues and are looking for a handout and a hand up, please go to smartserve.ca and look for Smart Cares program in the Greenshield and go in there and get the help. So once again, Richard and Hassel, thank you very much for joining us. A great program, very well needed in the industry, and thank you for your leadership and ownership of this program from all of us at FEO.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you
You've
so
been
much.
listening. You've been listening to FEO on the Air. Until next time, I'm Dave McNeil. Live your life like it's a festival and enjoy every day.